And we're back on Saturday More Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. But yeah, we're waiting for them to turn on their mics so they can go on with the show because they have some more sports to talk about.
I think we're getting into baseball.
Yeah.
We are going to have a little baseball here for a few minutes. Trivia questions. The last player to play 162 games for your team.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, my gosh.
Because everybody's talking about Cal Ripken and other things this week.
Does pitchers count?
No. I don't think that's possible. Where did I go? Anyway, the last player, Zach, I'll give you a hint. 2023 for the Braves.
Matt Olson.
You guessed it.
Boom.
How about that?
Well done.
See, I thought this was going to be hard.
Good job. Oh, Lordy, don't go to Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Bo Jackson.
Terry.
It might be.
Bo never played 162.
Well, I mean, you have to go
Pre
back
hip
that far.
injury. Pre hip injury.
If
Actually-
flying him off
actually-
the-
A guy that played football half the season. Come on, Chip. Played
Actually,
football.
it's been within the last 5 years, Terry. I'll give you a hint. It's not exactly 5, maybe, but it's been recent. Kansas City Royals. Kind of a weird name. Give you another little hint, too.
Oh,
You don't know any ballers for Kansas City in the last 5 years?
not somebody
that
that I
was
want
there
to say
every
did at
day.
162 games.
Whit Merrifield.
Oh, yeah, and we got rid of him.
I mean,
I mean, heck, what about
he
that?
just showed up for work every day.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
can't
you
have
gone.
that.
See ya.
Yeah, we
He's
don't
got to
need
go.
you.
You are messing with the culture around here, sir.
Part-timers.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to find Cleveland's logo because
What
I'm not
the
used to the
crap?
Guardians thing, Tom, at all. I was looking for the C at least, and they put the Guardians logo up there. So I was looking for. I knew Chief Wahoo wasn't going to be there. All right, Tom. It has been since the turn of the millennium. That is your hint. So it is in the 2000 to 2000 now.
I would tell you, some of these guys take days off. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
You don't have any Warriors that you thought, how did I know that guy?
No. You
How
got
about Grady Sizemore was your last
Oh,
one.
wow.
2007.
Yeah.
It's been 17 years.
Wow.
This one shocked me how many years it's been in St. Louis. These guys take too many days off. 1989
Wow.
was the last time a St. Louis Cardinal played 162 games. That blows my mind.
Who was it?
The Wizard?
It was not Ozzie Smith.
Was it Vince Coleman?
But
Center fielder.
hint, Terry, think about it. On those teams, who would have played 162 games? And hint, he may have been mentioned on last week's show.
Well, so when I think of stuff like that, I'm thinking of people who play. I think of a right fielder, left fielder, or second baseman.
What about someone who played all of those positions?
I was about to say, can I throw out a guess?
You know?
What about somebody who played all of those positions, Terry?
Was it?
If we talked about it on last week's show, you weren't here, Chip. I don't know if you saw it or not.
I did.
Well, he was on last week's show. We talked about him.
I have a guess.
It's the ultimate weapon. Go ahead, Chip. What's your guess?
Is it Jose Oquendo?
You are correct, sir. Jose Oquendo was the last Cardinals, 1989.
All right, where's my clue for my Yankees?
Let's see. The Red Sox one. Bill Buckner.
Thank you.
Last player.
Thank you for referencing Bill Buckner. That's good.
162 games.
What year?
1985.
I was thinking,
What other year would it be?
They don't have
That's
a
good.
Yankees.
Is that not awesome?
86,
Who is
86 was the
the-
year he
Yeah. Who is
moved
the
it here.
oldest that's on this
Now,
from
Buckner
way
was
back?
second. Oquendo was third. The oldest is the Anaheim, California Angels, whatever they call themselves.
The Los Angeles
Angeles
Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah.
Or is the oldest streak. There's 5 teams from the 90s. John Olerud for the New York Mets, 1999. You're going to really be surprised on this one. 1998, the last player for the Chicago White Sox,
Frank Thomas?
Albert Bell.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Think of that.
It ain't had nobody since. Albert Bell was the last, Tom, he was the last shining example of coming to work every day.
Yeah, I mean,
When I think of guys, though,
perfectly
that's when I
stable.
think
Nothing
about
wrong with
left
that guy.
field, right
Perfectly
field, or
stable.
second. Because most of them other guys get hurt or
Terry,
something.
Prince Fielder is the Milwaukee Brewers' last one in 2011. A fat first baseman. Nobody else played 162 games. The longest streak, Anaheim Angels, Don Baylor, 1979.
Wow.
Back to the 70s for the Angels. Y'all wondered why Trout can't.
What
get
about
Was
the Yankees?
the Orioles? The Cal
right,
Ripken?
the
Is Cal
Yankees-
Ripken the Orioles?
All right. The Yankees hint was. I'll give you 2 hints.
Okay.
It's been since not in the 1900s, obviously, because I named those five other ones. All right. This person did not come to the Yankees farm system. 2000 to 2010, I'll give you the bracket
Okay.
when he may have been there. Did not come to the Yankees farm system. And
Was
he
it-
may or may not be a citizen of the United States.
Was there? I was going to say, was there a year that A-Rod played all 162?
It's not A-Rod.
Okay.
The answer. I'll give you another hint.
Oh, is Hideki?
Yes, Godzilla.
Oh, wow.
Hideki Matsui, the last player to play 162 games baseball.
I meant Hideki Arabu.
I was thinking Matsui when you said Hideki,
So guys, Tom and Terry, you'll love this. The Cardinals come. We're in last place again. The coach is doing a great job as always. Yeah, he sucks. But anyway, here's the new.
They're only 4 games out.
Here's the news story. Management has come out and now saying that Terry, they are going to be requesting from the city $500 million for stadium upgrades or a new stadium. This stadium is 20 years old. I showed y'all a brick last week with our name on it.
Wow.
That it was just built 20 years ago. And they're complaining, and the owners, whatever. It is a nice baseball stadium. There is nothing wrong with the baseball aspects of the stadium. If fans aren't coming to the stadium, it's because you are losing. And they know it, and they know it better than anything. So here's what, and I was reading comments and stuff. Well, I got to a comment. You remember Mike Schilt used to coach here? Coach for the Cardinals, friends with Grayson over here. He was talking to some reporters, Terry, and they were talking about one of the reasons he was asked to leave or be forced to leave is he saw some things going on that wasn't the quote-unquote Cardinal way, right? And he wanted things to be the Cardinal way. Well, management doesn't anymore. So management had pretty much told him and then the rest of them that they're changing the scene, the atmosphere of the team and club. Something that has been successful for 100-something years. How many losing seasons did we talk about?
Yeah, I know.
It was like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, 10 tops, something like that in 100 years. So we're talking about something that's worked, and then now the management and the former manager straight up said it's management wanting to change the quote-unquote atmosphere or whatever it is around the team. And so now you're two back-to-back losing seasons, and they're talking about building a new stadium. And the city people in St. Louis are much, based on the comments, much rather would put the money in trying to get the NFL back and redo that stadium. And the Blues are asking for a new stadium at some point, too. And theirs is fairly new. So St. Louis is these owners are being a little nuts. They're talking about the Braves, and the White Sox owners now threatening. They're talking about maybe moving to Nashville is what his
Nashville is kind of like the city that all of them threatened to go
like
to.
Vegas used to be.
The Indians, they threatened to move. Oh, we're going to move to Nashville, Tennessee. Baseball will not make it in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know why.
And you'll not move something out of St. Louis to go to Nashville.
I don't think they.
Oh
are.
man,
That's
St.
not
Louis-
going to
that'd be
work.
bad.
St. Louis is talking about trying to lure the Chiefs is what they're trying to get is the Chiefs to move across the thing. So that's where they're trying to get with the NFL. The city would rather have the Chiefs come because their owner, I don't know if we talked about this. Their owner lives in a mansion built into the stadium, and then the owner has now turned around after all these successful years and is asking the state and city for more money to basically renovate his home.
Yeah, but there you
Is
go.
what he wants.
Well, billionaires don't become billionaires by doing
spending
things
their
the
own money.
right way. They do it by cheating other people out of money. Come on now. You could be a millionaire or a multimillionaire by hard work, but if you want to be a billionaire, you got to start cheating some people out of some money.
like trying to build something down in South Carolina. and
Yeah,
just
just like Tepper did.
If you're
Tepper
an
declares
economics teacher at a
bankruptcy.
local college, don't invite Tom.
No, I'm just telling you. You become millionaire, We were talking in economics class the other day about Caitlin Clark, and they were all mad because she got $10 million. I'm like, look, if somebody paid me $10 million to teach this class, I would say yes. Now, millionaire
Who
is
gave
one
her $10
thing.
million? Was that the?
That's
NIL
what I'm
thing?
Nike.
Billionaire, you
Nike
gotta
did.
start cheating.
I was gonna
Nike gave her that.
Nike
Nike
did.
gave
We'll talk
her-
about that later.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
but
sorry.
She got paid something big. All right,
Yeah,
here,
it's ridiculous what she's gonna make.
Tom. Do you remember this video? This is Manny Ramirez's first ever at bat for the Cleveland Indians. For you folks around here, don't remember. If you don't remember, he came through the Indians farm system, which comes through North Carolina here. Now, Zach, if you'll hit the computer button, I'll have to shut Chip up a second, but he'll be okay. This is Manny Ramirez's first ever career at bat. And guys, I'm just going to let you know it went exactly how you would think it would go.
At Charlotte, the AAA ball club for Cleveland, he had over 300. He had 317. Had 14 home runs and 36 RBIs. And look at this, a extra base hit. First major league base hit for Ramirez, and he thinks it's a home run. Look at this. He thinks it's a home run. He thinks the ball went out.
Hey, he crushed that ball.
And a bit of embarrassment, but still.
Is that
Yeah.
He came through here one
At
time.
Charlotte, the AAA ball club for Cleveland.
Charlotte and the is it?
I remember Carlos
he's just
Baerga.
excited.
I remember
No,
him.
There's two teams.
just excited.
He crushed that ball.
Indians affiliates.
Tommy played down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the other one? What was it? See they played at the Charlotte Knights, which was actually in Fort Mill at the time.
Through there.
I don't know.
I might have a Carlos Baerga signed ball.
I think I got a Baerga Charlotte Knights card somewhere.
Bye, Eric.
Omar Vizquel.
I don't think he played for them.
No, Cherville won a state championship. One of these Burlington. They used to be the Burlington Indians, Tom.
Okay.
And they would have they had the Marlboro man out there. All right, Terry. I've got exclusive video, guys, of Terry Reinhardt umpiring girls softball this weekend.
You rung him up.
Somebody sent this to me. Terry, you just have to speak for yourself on this one, okay?
Well, I don't even see me.
Hold on.
You will.
You will. This
This is great.
This is Terry umpiring softball this weekend. Here we go. I don't think we need sound, but I'm gonna have it on anyway. You don't have any. Girls run to first. 4 steps by. Yeah.
It's all about getting out of the inning.
It's all
She
about
missed
getting
first.
out of the inning.
Maybe she missed first.
Is that what it was?
Is that really Terry?
Are you crazy, Tom?
No.
I was getting ready to say.
Just being silly.
What
Terry.
the crap?
For a second, I thought that was really you, Terry.
She was in the grass when the girl caught it at first, and he pumped her out. It would just been better if he had pumped her, gave you some. He just went, like.
Wow.
Terry, what do you do if your partner did that? Right there?
Oh, Lordy. Well, first of all, I hope they don't look at me and say, can we ask him? Can we ask him? Then I'm going to have to walk out there and go, buddy, what'd you see?
I had to do that in a game last night. It was a 10-run game, and the kid, like, for the team that was getting beat, it would have ended the game. But he beat it by a step. It was closer than that. He beat it by a step, but I still called him safe. And everybody's like, all that. And I just walked by the coach and said, I just couldn't get him on that. He said, yeah, we know you can. It's like, you can't make it obvious,
This is the great Harry Carey, and just some silliness from there. For folks listen on the radio, you can always watch the replay on YouTube. If you're out and about, you can go and pull us back up after the show and watch our videos and what we're reacting to on video. This is Harry Carey, former Cubs announcer. And
Do you leave it on?
yes, gosh, leave it on.
Of all the places that you meet good-looking and interesting women, the libraries, they say, this is supposed to be a matter of fact, the libraries are number 1 on the list.
Well, it's surprising you say that, Harry, because on the off days, Arnie Harris and I frequently go to the various libraries around the major cities that we visit. She was at the library.
We met her at the library yesterday.
Pretty sure that woman's not been in the library in the last 20 years.
We met her in the library yesterday.
Yesterday.
No. Got the big 80s hair going on.
She definitely liked Bon Jovi. All right, this past week, Cardinals, former Cardinals coach and Cardinals Hall of Famer Whitey Herzog passed away.
Yes.
Known as the White Rat. Ozzy says, touched many lives as a father, husband, coach, mentor, friend. My life was changed because of him. Just going back and watching some of the folks talking about about how good of a coach he was and a person and everything in St. Louis. Now back then, you remember, Tom, you're talking about your Marlboro Man on your you got that over there.
Yeah,
hold that up for the folks at home.
Let me see.
So the old Marlboro, advertising, the beer advertising out. So this was
this is the 1992
for you Braves fans. That's a Braves and Toronto Blue Jays World Series.
Pretty cool
brochure. Now, so back then the Cardinals, him and the announcer for the team did a lot of beer commercials. I don't know if any of y'all remember these, but I got a few highlights of Whitey and Jack Buck, the Cardinals announcer.
Yeah.
This is Joe Buck's father here in St. Louis. Here's some of the beer commercials. We'll go play a couple here. Chip, I'm going to have to mute you, so just deal with it.
Wish it was Tom, but
well, you got runners on first and third with a lot of speed, and you want to get a run. Let me use those cold bush beers for runners.
Okay, I'm going to need one of those back.
Well, this guy over here takes a big lead. He tries to distract the pitcher. You get 2 strikes on the hitter. Bang, you send him down a second. The catcher throws through. This guy comes home. You got a run. You're sitting pretty.
Yeah, you're sitting pretty, Whitey, but that's my bush beer.
They don't call this double steal for nothing.
So he double stole this beer there. All right, how about this one?
I've got to hand it to you, Whitey. You really know how to put a barbecue together.
Jack, is just like putting together a team.
Here we go again.
First, you got to have some meat in the lineup.
Absolutely.
Of course, Jack, everybody has a few hot dogs.
Every team does.
But you know the most important ingredient?
What's that, Skipper?
Is having a great pitcher.
Now you're talking. Nothing like smooth bush beer.
But, Jack, this pitcher needs some glasses.
Whitey always thought you said it was the umpires who needed glasses.
Who, me? No way. They can see in the dark. You wouldn't happen to be a steak guy, would you?
I've got to hand it to you.
They can see in the dark. Here's Pete Rose and Whitey Herzog. So we're told by
I'm a good friend of Pete Rose, and I was in Cincinnati. I read the Enquirer the morning that Vincent said Rose accused of gambling. That night he came out with the lineup card with the umpires, and he said to me, Whitey, we're going to kick your rear tonight. And I said, you want to bet? And he said, don't say that. That's a bad word around here. Mama.
Whitey Herzog asked Pete Rose if he wanted to bet at home plate. Here's another beer.
Whitey is going to give us a little clinic on some of his secret baseball tactiks.
It's just coaching, Jack.
How to pick up the signs.
You got nobody out and a man on first. Let me use this cold bush beer here for the batter. Now, if I only need 1 run, I'm going to give him this.
That's the bunt sign.
If I need a bunch of runs, I may give him this.
That's the hit and run.
You've got it, Jack.
No, Whitey, you've got it. That's my bush.
You know what this is? That is the take sign.
Whitey is going to get...
Herzog, steal your beer, Terry. There's some Whitey Herzog stuff. People were talking about the new regime and everything. They're going to have a moment of silence for him this Sunday, but nothing else, Terry. So their complaint, the fans are like, no banners, no signs, no other any.
No, bring his relatives out there.
None of
something.
that. None of that. Yeah. None of that. It's just going to be a moment of silence before the national anthem. So a lot of the fans are not happy with a lot of this stuff. It's that some of the local folks tell me that the coach is redirected and known as what? Did y'all see? Sorry, did you see the coach for the Cardinals shove the security guard out of the way this week and about get in an argument with him? Marmo, he was challenging a play and he was talking to his assistant coach, and the guy walked through between them, and he threw his hands up, started arguing with the security guard and fussed about it and caused a big deal and just a big baby about it. It's just weird. All right, Zach, you like this? King Griffey Jr. story told to you by King Griffey Sr. All right, Zach.
Talk about that. That just grounded him. You want me to talk about him getting grounded, don't you? When I first got in the outfield, I said, I'm going to cover 3 square feet and the rest is yours.
Sammy shoots a high fly out
Junior just kind of drifts over and just snatched it, just cool as could be. And his dad sitting there trying to catch this ball. I started ducking because I didn't know where the ball was. Thought I was going to get hit in the head. I didn't think it was funny. So what I did was I jogged off the field, got into the dugout. I said, come here. I said, you're grounded. And I took the car keys from him. Talk about that. That just grounded him.
Getting grounded as a Major League Baseball player, Tom, by your
he was probably only 19
left
at the
field
time.
dad.
Yeah, think about that though. Like, what? I mean, how unusual that is for them to
Guys
play
played
together.
pro ball. He's 19 years old.
And his dad's out in the outfield with him. I mean, what?
Of course, De La Cruz only about 20, isn't he? I mean, he's really super young too. So.
Andrew Jones was 19.
Yeah.
Chipper
in the World Series.
How was
correct,
Chipper?
right?
Chipper was really when he came out.
He was pretty young. All right. How often your team makes the postseason in Major League Baseball? So this is every team. What percentage they make it?
Oh.
One team is above 40%. Two teams above 30%. Three more teams in the 8 teams in the 20s. Then 6 in the teens, and then 6 in the upper teens, and the rest in lower teens, and then one team has made less than 10% of the playoffs in their history of their team. So one out of every, actually it's going to be 8.9%. So less than 1 out of every 10, 1 out of every 11 seasons, they make the postseason. Who would y'all guess would be that team?
Miami Marlins.
No. 1 out of 11 seasons, they make the postseason.
Florida Marlins, excuse me.
That's how bad they are. The Marlins have made the postseason, Zach. Glad you asked. 12.9% of the time. Okay. They're about the 6th lowest on the roster.
Where is Kansas City?
Kansas City has made it 16% of the time.
Well,
you guys ranked.
I'm gonna say the Braves are in the 20s, mid
13th,
20s.
Terry. 13th.
If you do the whole history of the franchise, Cleveland's got to be pretty low. Recent years, they've been good.
Cleveland is at 13%. Yeah. They're down about 24th. The Braves, Zach, are in 7th at 23.5%. The Cardinals are in 6th at 26%.
I thought they'd be in the 30s.
Who would you say, Chicago White Sox?
Nailed it. The
Really?
worst team in baseball history, basically. Terry just nailed it. The Chicago White Sox with 8.9%. 1 out of 11 years they make the playoffs. It's a shame with such sweet uniforms we don't get to see them as often.
You talking about the uniforms that those jackets that they were wearing with Ozzie and Whitey was really cool.
Oh yeah. The Arizona Diamondbacks are 5th at 26.9%. Houston Astros are 4th at 27%. Then you got 3 teams over 30.
Dodgers.
Dodgers are number 3.
I would think the Cardinals was up there, and they weren't.
They were 6th.
That'd be the Yanks.
They're probably number 1.
The number 1 team is the New York Yankees at 47.9%.
How
Look who's number
Tampa
2.
Bay?
Wow. That's
consistent.
Yeah.
The Tampa Rays have made the playoffs, the second best in baseball history at 34% of the season's play.
Nobody watches.
Nobody.
Look at Oakland.
Except those 2 coaches that Terry had the other day. They're Rays fans.
Dang, we ahead of 12 teams. That's pretty good. 30, 40, 50, 60. Hey, we had way up there.
Ahead of the Mets.
A little bit more than I thought.
Yep. So there's your playoff percentage-wise. So Cardinals have made it 1 out of every 4 years, basically. Yankees make it every
look at
other
Seattle
year.
being a bottom feeder
That's hard
down
to
there.
believe when you look at that. And we talk about Kansas City being such a low market, hardly ever does anything. And when you look at this, you like, they way better than a lot.
Chicago's one of the biggest markets in the world. Last. Oh, goodness. All right, this season, Braves still in first, Zach?
Yeah, they're still in first. I think we're 13-7.
Did you guys look up who the guy hit the 3 home runs last night? I can't remember to save my life. I think his first name was Travis. I can't remember the guy's name.
Arnaud?
Yeah, it was Arnaud, yes.
Hit 3 home runs, and he did have a chance because the guy, if you look, the guy who was hitting in front of him hit a home run and gave him the 4th plate opportunity, and then he grounded out. So I was hopefully was going to listen to history and just remind our listeners, 92.9 or 101.5, listen to the Braves. And a lot of times coming home from a ball game, Terry, that's what I like to do is just listen to the Braves on the boss. But I was really pulling for him because it was the first two guys. I want to say like Olsen hit a shot, it was caught. Somebody else hit it, put it in play, but it was caught, and then they didn't know if he was going to get another at bat that he did, and it ended up being anticlimactic. It had been the first time since 1986 that a Brave had hit 4 home runs in a game. I mean, that's been done 18 times, they said. I was like, I cannot believe that's happened that many times. That's a lot of times they hit. You would figure that'd be like once or twice.
I've seen the Cardinals do it twice myself, not in person. But Mark Whitten and Fernando Tatis. And I'm just you're asking that. I'm just trying to take off the top of my head. For anybody else, I don't think McGuire or Pujols ever hit 4 for us. They're dead last. I hadn't seen that since before La Russa. Dodgers in first out west. Go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, but looking at this, and right now I know it's way early. We've only played 20 games. But Kansas City at 13-7, and we even question how many the Dodgers would lose. They're 12-10.
I was looking at it right.
Yeah, 10 losses, and we said 50. The 50-some games they would lose. I mean, they're in first, though. That's what's amazing. They're 12-10 and in first.
It goes back to you can have all the best players, but if you don't get to practice together or you don't have a chemistry, you might not be good.
Chip, every team in the East is over 500 right
Shocker.
now. Red Sox in last. Your Rays are there in fourth. Yankees in first, of course. Baltimore is it that deep of a division, or is somebody going to fall off? A couple teams start falling off? What you got there?
I would say at least 4 of the 5 will finish above 500.
Okay. Tom, you and the Royals going to stay there in 1-2 this year?
Well, it helps.
You said the Twins. Did you tell me the Twins were the favorite before the season?
Yeah,
I think you said that last week.
Especially with Bieber going down, that was devastating. But
yeah,
McKenzie still got him. So I mean, he's the anchor of that rotation now. I guess in my opinion, he would be. But look who we've played. Now we did win 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox. We played the Yankees last weekend. Chip, we lost 2 out of 3 and pulled one out of the fire on Sunday. The Yanks should have won that game. I don't know if you kept up with that. You're probably still at the Masters, but Cleveland blew a save. New York went up 2 runs, and I think Cleveland scored 3 in their half to win that. So that was kind of a crazy game. But when we've played Oakland, we've played the White Sox, so and we'll see. I mean,
well, you got to beat the White Sox when you play them. That's how you win the division.
We'll see. And they hung in there against the Yankees. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They got beat the one close game. They beat them the other game. I think the other one wasn't competitive, and they won 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox. So I think
5 teams in the American League are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams have plus run differentials in the American League, and 3 of them fans are sitting in this room: Yankees, Guardians, and Royals.
Right now, the Cleveland Guardians, it sounds weird, are tied for the best record in baseball with the Yankees.
Well, the Braves are a game ahead of us.
Well, they're 13-5. Yeah. I guess winning percentage
got
they
the
would
best
be.
Percentage. So you guys are all having a good week, and I'm just over here sitting in last place for the first time.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: that the Yankees, with their
last year,
the success we've had early on this season, you can give credit to the guys that are on the pitching staff. They have stepped up, and Soto obviously has been a game changer for the offense. But this is hiding 2 glaring issues that I don't think they can sustain long term. Obviously, one, their ace, their best player last year's, we're hoping healthy or is able to come back healthy, Garrett Cole, at some point in the next maybe month and a half or so. And our 10-year, multi-million-dollar American League season home run winning record center fielder right now is not having a good year behind the plate right now. Or at the plate. Judge has not shown up really. He's batting less than 200. Has a couple of home runs. His timing's off. So
you Yankees fans are always so hard on Aaron Judge. I mean, like if he doesn't hit a home
60 homers.
If he doesn't hit a home run every time, they're ready to run him out of town. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Well,
I read it one year, a couple years ago in the playoff series, he was struggling. I think they booed him. It's like, how could you boo Aaron Judge? I mean, it's just crazy. The mentality. You're supposed to hit a home run every time. You're 6'8". What's your problem?
Not saying he's supposed to hit a home run. I'm saying he's hitting less than 200 right now.
Yeah, but it's early.
That's
that's all-star level now in Major League Baseball. What's his WAR?
That's all-star level. What's his WAR?
Yeah, how many strikeouts he got now?
Isn't it Soto then Judge or Judge then Soto in that lineup?
Soto's batting second, Judge is third.
Right. So I remember when the Indians were playing him, and he's like, "Well, if you get by Soto, you get to face Aaron Judge."
Yeah.
I mean, like that's killer right there.
And then after Judge right now, Stanton's actually hitting the ball. Stanton's hitting the ball.
Finally come around after his horrible start.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we've got NBA playoffs to preview. I've got my Hornets shirt on. Oh, they're not in the playoffs. We'll be back in a minute. KDC Broadcasting.